Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about 5 players that I think really impressed versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday, and I'll also give you guys some injury updates, including one on Chase Young and Ricky Seals-Jones. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Hit that like button and turn on those notifications. It really helps out the channel. We're trying to get to 6,500 subscribers. And also check out WinView. Let's get right into the video. Boy, do Victory Mondays feel good. It feels good to get a win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-19. And today we're going to talk about some of the players that shined in that game. And we're going to start off with Jonathan Allen. I thought he had a great game, and you know, that money that we paid him this offseason, that was a steal because his value is going to go way up. And if we didn't sign him this offseason or this past offseason, he would, you know, be getting paid $5+ million more per year than what we offered him. He's been great this year, maybe the second best interior defensive lineman behind, of course, Aaron Donald. He got some pressures in this game, was good in the run game, and also, got a couple quarterback hits. Here's a play right here. You see him on your screen right here, and you see him just, affect the throw by Tom Brady, getting to the quarterback, and that's just a great play by Jonathan Allen, and he's doing that every week. He didn't get a sack this week, but he is still being a presence out there, getting to the quarterback, and just being good in the run game as well. He's going to have to continue to ball out, especially without Chase Young and Montez Sweat out there. And maybe, I don't think they will, but maybe they'll move him to the outside for a few plays every game, just so that they can keep Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, and Heinicke on the field at the same time for a few plays in a game. They might move him to the outside for a few plays, but I thought he played well this game. He was one of our 2 best defenders in my opinion. I'll get to the other one in a second, but he was great, and yeah, he's going to have to continue to play great. The next player that I thought had a good game was DeAndre Carter. He had a really good game for us, was a huge contributor on offense. You look at the stats, he had 1 carry for 4 yards, but more importantly, he had 3 catches for 56 yards, 18.7 yards per catch, and had a really nice touchdown catch after a great throw by Heinicke. He was making big play after big play. He had that huge catch after Heinicke threw that one of his worst passes of the day to the Bucs defender, but he dropped it, and DeAndre Carter had the concentration, was able to come down with it. That was a great play by DeAndre Carter, and he also was okay in the kick return. He had a 28-yard kick return, which set up some good field position. Also had a punt return for 10 yards as well. He's been good asset on special teams, but he's beginning to become more and more of an asset on offense. And, I'm excited, to see what he continues to do. And I think that, even if Curtis Samuel does come back at some point this year, I do think that we should still involve DeAndre Carter, because he has proven to be able to, help us on offense, whether it be receiving or even sometimes on some jet sweeps and some tosses. He's able to get some yards. So I thought he had a pretty good game for us. Could have put him or McLaurin, but McLaurin always has good games. So I wanted to switch it up a little bit and add in DeAndre Carter, because he definitely had a good game. The next guy, Joey Sly, he had a great game for us. I mean, it's what you expect from a kicker, but just because of what we've had over the last few years, but especially the last few weeks, I think he deserves, a game ball. He went 3 for 3 on his kicks, and also 2 for 2 on his extra points. That's what you want, and his, kickoffs were good as well. And, if he can continue this will really help us out. He had a 46-yarder. The rest of them were, somewhat short, but those are the ones you got to make. Chris Blewett had, 3 out of his 5 field goals blocked. Just ridiculous. And, I'm excited to see what he can do. Game against Carolina, his former team, next week. So I'm excited to see what he can do. And yeah, I mean, he had a good game for us and was a big reason we won because of his consistent kicking. And if we would have had him last week again, or 2 weeks ago against the Broncos, maybe we would have won that game, but he wasn't available at that time. But I thought Joey Sly had a pretty good game for the Washington football team. And yeah, the next guy that I thought had a pretty good game for us was Cameron Curl. He was really good on defense. He was the one that set the tone and kind of, I thought, even though that they called it an interception, for me it looked more like a fumble. The receiver caught it and then Cameron Curl punched it out about a second later and William Jackson came up with the catch. That was a great play by Cameron Curl, and not only that play, but he had many other plays in that game where he had some nice tough tackles. He had some good coverage. He led the team in tackles with 8 tackles, and I'm happy he's pretty much the only guy playing strong safety. That's what you want. Early on in the season he was playing under 50% of the snaps, especially in week 1, but now Landon Collins is moving more to a linebacker type role, so I'm really happy that Cameron Curl is getting more snaps and getting snaps at strong safety, which is his true position, and he played well. Solid in the run game, good in coverage, and he just had some nasty tackles, and he forced that fumble/interception, which set the tone for the defense. It really did, and that was a game changer, and so was he in this game. Okay, so the last player on this list is Taylor Heinicke. I had to put him on this list. I thought he had a pretty good game for the Washington football team. Not super flashy stats, but that he was gritty at the end and helped us win the game. 26 for 32, 256 yards, 1 touchdown, had sacked 5 times, no interceptions though, and he did not fumble the ball. That is the most important thing you want to do as a quarterback. No turnovers, and he did that, which is great. Did get sacked 5 times though, which is unfortunate. Some of those were on the offensive line, but sometimes he has to do a little bit of a better job of either throwing it away or moving out of the pocket earlier and scrambling with his legs, because he is good at avoiding sacks. You see him do that duck down move where he avoids a sack, and then after that he needs to move out of the pocket or try moving out of the pocket before the guy gets there. I think that might be the coaches coaching him up a little bit and telling him not to scramble. So that's just one thing I think, with Heinicke. He has the ability. He is super mobile. So I thought he played good in this game, but one thing I want to see him do is, try running a little bit earlier, because the yards were there to be gained, but still nonetheless had a good game. Only 6 incompletions, which really helped us out. That drive at the end, he was just amazing that drive, getting hit, still completing the passes, orchestrating the drive along with Scott Turner. I thought he was great. He played more like the natural Taylor Heinicke, like he did in that playoff game against the Buccaneers last year. He didn't run as much, but still took some more shots down the field, which you love to see. Took a deep shot to DeAndre Carter on the touchdown, another somewhat deep shot to him, and took a couple others in the game. And that's what I want to see from Heinicke. Thought he played a good game for us. We don't need him to go out and go crazy, but what he did in this game was good enough, and not turning the ball over was a huge plus. No interceptions and no fumbles, so he is on the list. So, and some other players that I thought played well, Antonio Gibson, the stats might not show it, only getting 2.7 yards per carry, but there are multiple times where the maximum amount of yards he would get would be 1 yard, or sometimes even like negative yards, where a few times, 2-3 times, he just got, met at the line of scrimmage, and, nothing he could have done. It's just a -2, -3 yard play, and that's not on him. He had a bunch of goal line carries as well, where the most he could have gone is 1 or 2 yards. So I thought he played well, and yards per carry isn't necessarily a reliable stat as well. He also had 2 touchdowns. I think the bye week really helped him out and made him look, more like himself. So let's hope this is a trend and he continues to get better. Don't need to see him practicing on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Try to rest that shin up so he can be healthy for these next games. And yeah, I thought he played well. Another guy that played well, Terry McLaurin, but I just he's always on the list, so I want to switch it around. Could have put him, could have put DeAndre Carter, so I put DeAndre Carter instead. 6 catches, 59 yards, making those contested catches. You love to see that, coming back after he got injured, getting hit super hard by 2 different players, kind of staying down for a bit and then just coming up and hitting his chest. Love to see that. He had a good game for us. And yeah, that was it on offense. I thought Cornelius Lucas also had a good game. And the secondary had a much better game. Kendall Fuller looked really good besides that, 40-yard touchdown. Got to clean that up. Besides that, though, he was good. And I thought William Jackson was a little bit better besides that bonehead play at the end of the first half where he, handed them 3 points. That cannot happen, but his coverage was much better in this game, and he got an interception. And he was going up against solid receivers and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So those are kind of guys on the list, honorable mentions. I gave a few, but the other 5, those are the guys that I thought impressed the most. So now on to an injury update. Unfortunate news, confirmed the fear that a lot of fans had. Chase Young will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL. Let's hope he comes back before the start of next year. Let's, hopefully has a great recovery and, has a comeback year next year. Let's hope that can happen. Joe Burrow had a terrible ACL injury, last year around the same time, week 10, week 11, at FedEx Field. And, it was even worse than this ACL injury. We still don't know the details, but he had a bunch of other damage and he was still able to, come back before the start of the next season. So let's hope that's the same with Chase Young, and let's hope he's better than ever. And yeah, it's just unfortunate because I wanted to see, how he would bounce back from the little bit disappointing start at the start of the season. And, I just wanted to see how he would play in the second half. And it's unfortunate we won't be able to see that. And then, Ricky Seals-Jones is day to day with a hip injury. So let's hope, he can play this week, especially if Logan Thomas is out again. If Logan Thomas is back, then it's not that big of a deal. But if Logan Thomas is out, then we need Ricky Seals-Jones. So let's hope he's back. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And peace, guys.